Rangers supporters have made their feelings crystal clear, but it seems the message isn't getting through to those in charge. While frustration grows louder in the stands and across Glasgow, the Ibrox hierarchy appear unmoved. Behind closed doors, the club's owners are taking a very different view of Russell Martin's troubled start. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, former Rangers manager Michael Beale has reflected on his time in charge of the club. The Englishman, who served as Steven Gerrard's assistant at Ibrox, came in to replace Giovanni van Bronckhorst in November 2022. Beale ultimately spent less than a year at the helm, and speaking recently to the Daily Mail, he admitted that there is a huge difference between being a coach and being a manager. He also stated that it was hard to speak to the media several times a week. "It certainly is different being the assistant at Rangers to the main man," said Beale. "I had Gary McAllister and Steven Gerrard to lean on for 3 years. I had only been away 11 months when I came back up from QPR, but I knew 80% of the squad. Giovanni van Bronckhorst had done a very good job, so the first question I had to the board was why. I went back in, we started well, and it just took off. But the difference between being a coach and a manager is it's just different. My focus had been entirely on coaching up until that point, but then all of a sudden I was knocking out 8 to 12 interviews a week, immediately after you play. Sometimes I was very emotional and honest. You have to learn very quickly. If you are coaching in front of 52,000 people, it is hard to switch off all your emotions. You have to be highly competitive. You have to have natural enthusiasm. It is hard to switch that off and come and speak to all the media within 10 minutes of the game. With a few more grey hairs now, I am hoping to improve on it. There are mistakes I have made. We all make mistakes. It is part of being a human. I was proud of a lot at Rangers. The win percentage was strong. We went in so far behind, but had more points than Celtic in that period. But a lot changed. Beale took charge of Sunderland at the end of 2023, but he lasted only 12 games at the Stadium of Light. He is now an assistant to Saad Al-Shehri at Saudi Pro League side Al-Ettifaq. Now, in a shocking Russell Martin update, Rangers owners have been backed to stay the course with Russell Martin, despite the mounting pressure on the Ibrox boss. Since stepping into the hot seat at the beginning of June, Martin's tenure has been nothing short of turbulent. Rangers remain winless after their opening 4 league fixtures and suffered a humiliating Champions League collapse, thrashed 9-1 on aggregate by Club Brugge in the playoff round. Unsurprisingly, speculation over his future has intensified, with suggestions the club could act swiftly to cut ties this month. Yet former Aberdeen chief executive Keith Wyness, who also spent years at the helm of Everton and Aston Villa, and now advises elite clubs through his consultancy work, believes the ownership group, 49ers Enterprises, are refusing to be swayed by the noise. Speaking to the media, Wyness argued that the Rangers hierarchy are keeping their focus on the long term rather than bowing to fan frustration. He pointed out that sporting director Kevin Thelwell has already thrown his weight behind Martin, confident the ex-Southampton boss can still turn the tide. "This is the rebuild Russell Martin's got now," Wyness explained. "He's done what he can with his squad, and Kevin Thelwell has supported him as best he can. It's now down to him to get things going. Yes, it's been a rocky start, but even the old firm draw managed to quieten the noise a little. Rangers fans need to be realistic. Just because they're Rangers doesn't mean they're automatically entitled to success. This club was in a disastrous mess before the new owners came in." Wyness stressed that one of the biggest strengths of the new regime is their detachment from the daily intensity of the Glasgow football bubble. Without the constant pressure of old firm tribalism clouding their judgment, he believes they're better placed to avoid knee-jerk decisions. "It's going to take at least a season or 2 to really get things moving," he added. "The owners know what they're doing. They need time. You can't just keep chopping and changing managers. What matters is building something sustainable at Murray Park, in the academy, and across the club's foundations. That's the bigger picture." Whether the fans like it or not, Rangers owners appear determined to ride out the storm with Russell Martin at the helm. Weitz's words make it clear that the board sees stability and patience as the only way forward, even as pressure builds with every poor result. For now, the Ibrox faithful may be demanding change, but the hierarchy seem far more concerned with the long game than with silencing the noise of the terraces. In other news, Crystal Palace are bracing themselves for renewed interest in Jezorun Raksaki this January, just moments after Rangers saw a late deadline day move collapse. Transfer guru Peter O'Rourke revealed to the media that Palace are already prepared to listen to offers for the 22-year-old winger, whose future remains uncertain after a frustrating summer. Despite heavy speculation that he would leave Selhurst Park, bids from both Rangers and Southampton were knocked back before the window slammed shut. That setback won't deter Rangers. Former Manchester United chief scout Mick Brown revealed on the 2nd of September that the Ibrox side fully intend to reignite their pursuit when the market reopens. Manager Russell Martin is understood to be a long-term admirer of Raksaki, having previously tried to sign him during his stints at both Swansea and Southampton. Back in July, Brown revealed that Rangers were weighing up a loan approach for the Palace Academy graduate. However, the Eagles made it clear they would rather sanction a permanent sale than a temporary move. Martin, eager to bolster his wide options, pushed hard for a deal in mid-July, but ultimately came away empty-handed as the clock ticked down on deadline day. Now the focus shifts to January. A move is far from guaranteed. Much will hinge on Raksaki's role under Oliver Glasner, and whether Palace encounter any injury setbacks in their squad. Still, O'Rourke made it clear Rangers will be keeping a close eye on developments. There was a lot of interest in Raksaki on deadline day, he revealed. If he's not figuring in Oliver Glasner's plans between now and January, I'm sure Rangers will maybe be looking at that situation with Raksaki. It doesn't look at the moment like he is going to be part of those plans. They were willing to let him go in the summer, but couldn't reach an agreement. Rangers are likely to be in the market for more attacking reinforcements. Russell Martin is a huge fan and tried to sign him during his time at Southampton, so that interest isn't going to go away. If he's not playing between now and January, Rangers will be having a look at him again in the middle of the season. With Rangers in desperate need of fresh firepower and Martin still chasing his long-time target, the Raksaki saga looks set to reignite once more when the winter window swings open. For Rangers, January could present the perfect chance to finally land a player Russell Martin has admired for years. With Crystal Palace open to offers and Raksaki's future still hanging in the balance, the stage is set for a fresh transfer battle. Whether the winger ends up in Glasgow or not, one thing is certain: his name will dominate the headlines once the winter window bursts into life. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.